Holy shit, I just can't believe I stuffed that up. Welcome to episode number 8 of the Matt podcast. That's one chance, and I'm Matty Mac, and I don't know what goddamn day it is.
That was awkward. That was very awkward. That was oh well, whatever. Hi guys,
Hey.
how's it going? Have you done well?
Yes.
How's your week been, Matt?
Oh, dude, it's been like a roller coaster of sorts. Like, it started out, obviously, like, this is my first week back post Christmas and New Year's. So that first day is always like, after this, man, like, get back to work after having some time off. And especially the time off we had, it was like that instantaneous, super fast, like we talked about last week. It just goes too quick. So coming back Monday, I was just like, Tuesday, because Monday was public holiday. Just not about it. I think for the guys in the office when I got there, it would have been like watching a storm cloud roll through. I just sat down at my desk and I was just like, oh, what's happening? Yeah, what about you, man?
Yeah, it was pretty much the same. It was a pretty chill week. We had a few things to do, like work, so it wasn't that bad. And it was only really me and my boss, and we had like a contractor electrician.
Right. That's
so
pretty good.
It was good actually, because it gives you time to sort of like talk about things. You know what I mean? Like we got the we got the apprentices coming next week, but it's just this week I should say. Where's the week gone? Anyway,
I don't know, man.
But yeah, it was one of those quick ass weeks, and I was just literally because the first day as well, Tuesday, I get up at 5:45, and I was just like, man. Man, I have to get up.
This?
But but it was good. It's
a
nice.
horrible feeling, isn't it? I know everybody that works can relate. Everyone that works.
It took me 3 days, man, to get like used to waking up at that time again. I was just like, fuck me, man, this is so annoying.
And to add insult to injury, I was going to gym in the mornings too. So not only I was up at like 5:15 to be at gym by 6, and then finish gym at 7, and then literally I'd have to race home, like full noise all the way home just to get in for a quick shower, because they're not doing early classes yet. They're only doing 6 a.m. and 6 a.m. don't suit me because I like to go home, have a shower before I go to work, especially being in an office.
Just chill a bit.
Yeah, man. Especially after you just bust your ass for 55 minutes or whatever it is. So, yeah, I was doing that all week. So the mornings just flew by, and by the time I actually get to work and sit down, I was like, wow, like, I've already done so much. Just fine, but yeah, it's been interesting. It's been been interesting with a lot of things happening this week. Not so much in gaming, unfortunately. It's been a pretty chill week though, hasn't it?
Yeah, in terms of gaming wise, it's like, I don't know. It seems like everyone's sort of just, it's the new year. I mean, there was a bit of Destiny drama, but that's whatever. We don't get into that shit. It was just frustrating as all hell to watch. But
yeah, I saw that play out vicariously through you and your tweets. And I was just a bit like, I didn't want to touch base on it too much, because I was like, it's just one of those things just needs to be gone. And
it's out there. You can see it. Whatever. It's just another. It's like, I don't know. I will say that the one thing that I don't, and this is sort of like, it's really frustrating to me because I do want to get back into the Destiny community, but at the same time, I just don't want to do that because it is really a cutthroat community. Some people are, don't get me wrong, lovely humans. Majority of people in it are that way, but there are a select few that just want to tear people down, like wanting, and not saying that what they did was right, because in no way was it right, but it's just like, come on, man. Like,
it's frustrating.
It's like they get bored with the game. It's literally like they get bored with the game and they're just like, all right, let's just go for someone now. Let's just fuck them up. Like, and I'm just getting over that, man. I'm so over that. I just I
think that makes it so much harder to even want to get back into it and do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to. I need to play, but I don't want to play.
You say that like they get bored and then they just sort of take it out elsewhere. Because I noticed the same thing when I used to work a lot of night shift. Now at nights, there's not much happening, and once you get bored, there's only so much you can talk about before people just start making shit up. And that was part of one of the big reasons why I got off night shift, because I was sick of all that shit. And that was basically the same thing. It's like, okay, we're bored now. Who can we talk shit about? Same sort of thing.
It's such a weird,
it's a human nature thing, dude.
Man.
It's so strange.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, just be kind. It's not that hard.
It's really
just don't
not.
be a dickhead. Like,
literally costs nothing to not
to anything. Just be kind to anything, animals, everything. Just be kind. Like, fuck, it's not hard. Like,
the world needs more of it at the moment.
We legitimately do not deserve pets. Any animal, man. We don't. No. We really don't. The shit they put up with, holy fuck.
Oh, dude.
Like, and they still come back. You do that to another human.
Oh, they're either coming back to lay you out or they ain't coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of two ways there.
Oh, well.
Crazy. But,
I have, though, watched a few movies this week.
Oh, sorry, what? You have time to watch movies?
Yeah, I know. I've watched movies. I've watched 3 movies in the last 2 days. I know. Some really, really good movies, actually.
What, are we talking like Netflix or actually being to the cinema?
Yeah, Netflix.
Ooh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I watched Don't Look Up, which has Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence in it. Yeah, that's a really, really good movie, man. That's the asteroid one. Yeah, yeah. I can't like talk too much about it, but it is good, man. You'll love it. I think like it is. It's really, really, really close to what's happening in the world today, but it's also like to an extreme, I guess, because it's an asteroid. But
of course,
the fact that whoever, the director just nailed the editing and like the editor, like it's perfect. It's literally like, oh no, there's an asteroid coming to Earth. Anyway, like it's literally that humor, and it's just perfect. And then like how did 2 like people try and convince the world that the world is going to end if we don't do anything about it? And it's just like the twists and turns, man. It's honestly one of my favorite movies. And it's I
might actually check that on because we've been watching the 100 obviously. I'm seriously enjoying the 100. Like there is so many little parallel. I mean, I know it's been out for ages, whatever. But I've never sat down and watched it. Ash watched it. She was starting to rewatch it. I'm like, hey, what's this? Oh, end of the world, eh?
Yeah,
I can get behind that.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm actually keen to watch that. That sounds really cool.
It's Netflix or Disney? Really good. Netflix film.
Yeah, okay.
The other one we watched is Tick Tick Boom, which is I'm not really into these movies, but it was a like a sort of musical but like drama movie at the same time.
Okay.
However, it's got Andrew Garfield in it, and it's based on a true story of Jonathan Larson, who was the creator of Rent. It's the 7th longest running Broadway show in American history.
Really?
It ran for 12 years in Broadway.
What?
It's incredible, and it's crazy, because so Tick Tick Boom was sort of his like autobiographical musical memoirs? That he made.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Memoirs, right? Yeah, so he made his own off-Broadway show. That was the one that sort of like this like follows, and it has all like the music from it. But Andrew Garfield and that looks like they had so much fun, much fun with this making of it. But okay. It's like the obviously Jonathan Larson was a real person.
Yeah.
The week before, I believe Rent was going to be released, he died of an aneurysm.
Get out, really?
Yeah, at the age of 35.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
so.
I would
he never got to see
his own musical.
And it's just like it's such a good movie, man. It's like just like an inspiring, like an up and coming musical composer, theater composer, just like deal with life at the same time as trying to make
everything else he's doing
this Broadway, and it's perfect. They nail it. and Andrew is like, he's such an underrated actor, man. He needs to be in more shit. But
hey, I reckon he will be now. Surely he'll be signing some contract shortly after his little soiree in the old Spider-Verse.
Yes. But and then I watched another movie, but it's not really worth talking about. It's all right. It just had so many different like genres in the one. It was interesting. It was an interesting take. Mother Android. Have you heard of that?
Oh, I have heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched that as well.
That piques my interest. I can't remember why.
It is interesting. It's a really interesting concept, but it's just like a lot of genres mashed into the one. Like it's so fucking odd. Pacing's weird. They're definitely there's just a lot of plot holes that you kind of just go like, well, if you just stayed there instead of trying to move on to anyway. But it is good. It is good for what it is. And, I mean, it is the cast has Chloe, what's her name? She's from Kick-Ass, the girl that she's not a girl anymore, but yeah.
Yeah.
She's also in the Fifth Wave as well. So yeah, she seems to be doing that sort of genre a lot, which is kind of odd. But this one was an interesting take, seeing as like we'd actually like created a living AI, like an android that would actually serve us. And then what would happen if they just like there was like this event that sort of fried their, I guess, consciousness and
the
sort
singularity.
Yeah, so it's sort of they all turned on us, and they instead of like an android being like they're smart for sure because they don't have that emotional level like we do, but they're almost like zombified sort of idea. So they're sort of like they will hunt humans down sort of idea. But yeah, it's the intensity of it's pretty good. It also has is that Uglu, which is Will Smith's older son, I think.
Oh really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he's in it. It's crazy, man. Some shots you're like, whoa, I don't know if that's Will or not. Like it's
similar.
Fucking odd.
Yeah.
Like structure and everything,
well
bro.
In the in his YouTube documentary.
Yeah,
that was a really, really good doc. I don't know if I can't remember what it's called now, but
I saw you and Stove watching that, and I was like, man, I'm sure I was there for that fucking shit.
Yeah, I know. We were literally everyone had stopped playing games, and I just jumped onto YouTube and went live. And Stove was like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, some Will Smith doco," and we both started watching it. Got sucked in. Watched 5 out of 6 episodes in that night, and then the next night we finished it off. It was a good time.
Crazy.
Funny you say like that. It's probably why it pricked my interest, because I have actually been watching a lot of YouTube content on AI this week. That's there's some scary shit there, obviously, but there's also a lot of good, which is probably the more reasonable way to look at it, I hope.
Yeah.
At any point it could turn, obviously. So that's kind of like it's like living on the edge of a knife, I guess. Is if you slip, you're gone.
Yeah.
But one of the takeaways I had from that was that I'm pretty sure our neurons fire at about 30 meters per second. A computer brain, or whatever you want, however you call it, would be operating at about, I think it's 100,000 meters per second or 1,000,000 meters per second. Just for a comparison speed. That's why there's they can learn effectively 20,000 years of human history in a week. 1 week. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. We'll just tune out.
Yeah. We'll be in the metaverse.
Yeah.
No worries.
Well, I mean, and that's sort of where it sort of points to at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ready Player One.
It's funny, actually. I spoke to the other electrician that I'm working with, the contractor electrician that I'm working with at the moment, is called Matt. And we must all, dude, I'm not even kidding. We must all have this same wiring in our brain that's just like,
is he double T? I'd hope so.
It's yes, it is. Yeah. And it's literally in the head. It's just like we have in the back of the head, more. I swear it's just like that. Like he's always looking for more. Yep. And I'm like, man, this is a pain in the ass that I've not met one Matt like this. Not like this, you know?
Like this.
Yeah. And so he, I told him, I'm like, how much do you know about the metaverse? And he's like, oh, I know like a little bit. And I'm like, you can buy a property in the metaverse now. He's like, wait, what? And he just instantly went on his phone and started looking at like all the property. And I'm like, yeah, man, like right now it's like, it's nothing. Yeah. But it's just like people are buying up pieces of land in like preparation for the metaverse to exist. And he's like, this is fucking nuts. And he's like, I'm going to buy some. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. I saw a tweet this morning, right? And it was something, I don't think it was metaverse specific, but it was something to do with Web 3.0. And I don't want to get into that right now because my brain is so not ready for that. But the tweet was something along the lines of Justin TV. So Twitch TV started as Justin TV, yeah? So the people that are into Web 3.0 now are equivalent to the same sort of people that were into Justin TV back when that was a thing. And then obviously it evolved and transformed, and now we've got Twitch as it is now, which is, I would argue, pretty well known across most. Yeah,
well, it is the streaming platform, isn't it?
Yeah. I would imagine there wouldn't be many people under 25 that don't know about it.
Not now. Yeah.
No. Sure.
For sure. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And I was like, that's super cool because I vaguely remember when Justin TV was like super early, and I reckon I may have jumped on once or twice just to have a look at things. But this is probably prior to me realizing just how much I enjoyed and games as such. And because I went through a big period of my life, like between 18 and probably 24, 25, where I played PlayStation every so often or Xbox or whatever, but I never I wasn't as into it as what I am now. And I don't think, I have a feeling that was a parent's influence to the thing. And it took me a while to realize, hey, I actually really enjoy this. Let's have a look at this world, because that's when I was working back at OPSM a long time ago. Yeah. And yeah, that's interesting that at that same time, Justin TV was a thing. And that's kind of where we're at now with all the new, with like, you know, NFTs, crypto, all that sort of stuff, Web3 shit. Super exciting to be aware of it as much as we are
it's
at this point in time.
It's like just touching on NFTs, because I know that we want to do an entire almost hour dedicated to it, because it is a lot to go through. And I you know, for me, I'm looking forward to it, because I do want to step into that world, but it's just like, where the fuck do I start? You know, and I hope that that's answered a bit in that. But the yeah, it's interesting to me that people still think that NFTs are just like a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's totally more than that.
So
like,
much more than that. There's
it's like
many implications.
It's like what I don't understand to me, right? It's not a visual. It's a visual digital artwork, right?
Yep.
But they people are calling that silly, yet there were painters.
Correct.
That did exactly the same thing.
Every single like
it's just
every single human revolution, what I would call, of the mind in the last 2,000 years generally has focused around some form of artwork or some artist at the time who is. This is just really like
it's essentially revolution. Like Mona Lisa, like all the Da Vinci's work, man. Like we all understand as soon as we see, we see the Sistine Chapel, we're just like oh my god, we preserve that. Like why can't that be happening digitally as well?
So
like it doesn't.
This is just one thing that's happening right now as we speak. The Australian Open is coming up, and we're not talking about anything related to what's been in the news, because I'm overhearing about that bullshit. Now, this is the awesome part about it. There's a particular NFT called MetaKey. And I don't know if I've touched on that with you before, but I was looking at this about 6 months ago, and I'm a fucking idiot because I didn't buy into it and didn't get into it. I saw the value. I saw it on the wall. I'm like, you know what? This is going to be really big. Anyway, and this at the time, I think I could have picked one up for maybe 200 to 500 US dollars, give or take. I don't remember exactly, but it was cheaper than what it is now. Now, the MetaKey have partnered up with, I don't know if they're partnered up, but there's some connection with the Australian Open. Now, what the Australian Open is doing is basically digitizing a tennis court and breaking it into 5,555 pieces. Now, each section, now for you guys that are listening, each section, like little square section of the court, broken into 5,000 roughly pieces, is technically an NFT. So what they're doing, I don't know the full extent yet, but what it looks like they're doing is, if the ball happens to hit that particular part of the court, that's registered onto that NFT, right? So technically, if you own that NFT, you own that moment in time. So attached to that NFT will most likely be a video of like a match point, or the point that won the Australian Open, or the point that decided one way or another. Like,
man,
that is so cool. Now, that ties back to MetaKey, because if you were holding a MetaKey, which I should have been doing, that gives you access to the whitelist to be able to purchase one of these Australian Open pieces of the court. Now, the actual artwork itself, 5,000, however many there is designed by multiple different people, and it's actually like a tennis ball. And the animations I've seen is basically the tennis ball sits inside the court, and that's your piece of the court, which is so cool. You can basically digitize anything, and that's just tennis. I'm so surprised that. Actually, you know what? I'm not surprised the Australian Open's getting into this now, because Australian Open also did the Fortnite event a couple of years back, and that was a big deal. There was so many kids there.
So you could essentially, eventually, have an NFT happen in a League of Legends game, if really, like you could have
in so many ways,
like a pentakill, or even the objective of the dragon.
Yeah,
you know, a particular
effectively you could own. Yeah. So you could own.
Man, that's nuts.
Let's say, for example, right, at Worlds, there was a huge play, Pentakill, and whoever made that play, like the video clip of that, obviously it's already digital, so that makes sense. The video clip of that is effectively turned into an NFT, more or less. Currently, and you know how we've got all DMCA and all that sort of stuff, right? Basically, if you owned that NFT, you have full rights to do whatever you want with that clip. You own that clip, or 100 people own that clip, or whatever it may be. So there's so many things you can do with that. So if you want to use that clip in something, you could do it. Now, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of other smarter people out there than me that are probably already working on this with League of Legends. I just about guarantee it because I know they're pretty forward thinking like that. But there'd be so many ways you could implement NFTs into the game. But I think for the best example you probably use for League right now is the skins. You pay for skins for whatever character. You might pay, what, 15, 20 bucks, maybe more?
Yep.
Yep. So, and then you own a copy of that skin, which is account bound or whatever it is. That is an NFT. We're already doing this. We've been doing this for a very long time. The only difference with League is there's no marketplace. That's where Counter-Strike and people that have played Counter-Strike and bought and sold skins before have been doing effectively NFT trading for longer than NFTs has been a thing. So that's some perspective for you. It's exactly the same thing. You might own a skin.
Now they're just doing it with the like IRL things that we have.
Correct. But now, because the infrastructure is in place with crypto to be able to digitize more things and have it contract bound and blockchain bound, it just allows us to basically digitize anything and everything. So look, there is some things that are worthwhile doing. There's some things that probably aren't, but that's for other people to work out. We're just here for the ride, I guess. At this point, I'm just you know, I actually haven't bought or sold anything for a while, so
yeah.
That's the thing. I find if you're not sort of fully engaged in that space right now, it's very hard just to sort of pick up at any point unless you spend a bit of time.
Yeah, that's it. Like, how do you?
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's the same as. I mean, I feel like shares are a little bit more understanding. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's still a linear.
It's the same thing.
It's a linear market.
It's the same thing. It's just less volatile. No different.
Well, yeah. No, I just mean like it's like accessibility in terms of that. You know, like to me, I feel like I could just go and get some shares tomorrow in whatever company I want, and then I just sit on them, right?
Yeah.
With the whole cryptocurrency side, there is no like beginner level to me.
Yeah,
it's not
I understand.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
This way,
like, what do I buy in terms of?
It's easier for you right now to go and buy crypto than buy shares.
Oh no, 100%. I understand that. Yeah, I get that. But to me, the understanding, I guess, of how we've grown up. I mean, they would probably teach crypto over
100%.
Market value over in school, but that's what I mean. Right now, for me, it's just like I look at that and I go, like, all the different currencies in crypto. I just go, okay, all right.
But that
Ethereum, I know, like that seems to be the fucking nutty at the moment. I'm like, okay, cool. What is that?
Ethereum is basically, you know what I mean? Like an internet. It's a massive internet computer, more or less. It's
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And
I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I just don't know.
You got and this is the thing. How long's a piece of string? How much time do you have?
Yeah. No.
And the thing is, I understand in my head, but I'm not at the point where I have a full conversational knowledge of everything yet. Not that anybody would really, but as a starting point, you can literally. It all comes down to research. It all comes down to what you're interested in, which is why I think the gaming NFTs and the gaming crypto stuff has taken off so much in the last 6 months, purely because people that are into that stuff are already digital native people. You and I have already been online for years and years and years.
It's gaming industry is like we looked at it. This we're only talking like 5 years ago, and that was the 7th biggest industry in the world, and now it's like 4th or 5th, I think. Yeah, maybe in the top 3 now. I mean, I know the movie industry is unfortunately probably suffered the most in the last 3 years because of, and they were the most, I think or was it golf or something? I don't know. It beat golf. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. It was, the gaming industry was bigger than golf, the golf industry. And then, I think movie industry and music industry were up the top, I think. But yeah, the fact that we're like, that is growing so rapidly, especially I think a lot of it is to do with our influential.
Well, and that's exactly
our generation.
That's why our generation is so important for like what's happening next. and the implementation and the adoption of this kind of stuff is because we already, crypto aside, as I said before, you and I have been buying and selling skins on CS for years anyway, and on League anyway, and on games anyway. So we're not, that's not an abstract concept to us. That's something we do. That's something you could jump on right now and buy a skin. No stress, no questions asked, easy peasy. Once we get to that point for crypto, that's when things are going to be so much different. And there's just so many usage cases for various coins and cryptos and ideas. It's insane. Basically, every single thing we have right now can be digitized, and ownership can be done properly. Like DMCA and all that sort of stuff for music and well, soon to be videos. I don't know if you saw Harris Heller's. Did you see that tweet the other day or yesterday or whenever it was about it's okay just to play a TV on stream? So I'm going to start making some.
Yeah, it's a copyright-free TV shows.
Copyright-free TV shows, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be different, because you, as a creator, have full ownership and control of your content. So instead of Twitch owning your content, you own your content. If you have a clip that's hilarious, whatever happens, it's really cool. Hype beast play or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
You clip that, you can make it into an NFT effectively, and then you can actually sell that. So then every time that gets used or watched or whatever, you can get some sort of kickback from it. It's complicated, and I don't think it's at the point where all the little nitty gritty bits are worked out, like what platform would it be on, and how would the money get back to you, or whatever. But it's happening. It's happening very, very quickly, and a lot quicker than what I think a lot of people give credit for.
Yeah, it's like you said. It seems to me that it would be at the point where the creator of that content would be effectively the instead of it saying being Warner Brothers Music, it would be you as I can't think of the word right now, the label. Essentially, you are the label, right? So if you can, if you say, for instance, you can go back to a crypto company and say, this is now an NFT, and then how many times it's used. If I can monitor how many times it's used,
which you can, because it's all blockchain.
You pay me rather than me going through Amazon.
Well, it wouldn't even be that. It'd be a case of if I decided to watch your video. It's similar. I think I don't know exactly, but I think it'd be similar to how Brave works. Now, you've used Brave for a while. You've been collecting basic attention token, which is the currency through that.
Yeah.
You get paid that for watching ads.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into how that works on the back end of actually why you get paid to watch the ads, things like that. But that's basically, you own your information. So instead of Google having full access to you and giving you ads that they think that you might like, you own all that. So you get paid for people to show you ads.
Yeah.
As opposed to you wasting your time not getting anything out of it. Instead of Google getting paid for showing the ads. That's what I'm getting to. Yeah. It's very, very deep and complicated. And as I said, I'm not really even at a point where I'm conversational on it properly yet. I've got an understanding of the concepts, which is why I don't want to jump right into it for a full cast yet, because I want to have something structured so I can give people really good information and as maximum value possible. So if you don't have any idea about cryptos, NFT, buying land,
look out in the
digital,
future.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Keep an eye on Decentraland.
It's crazy to me actually how many properties there are now too. Like this and different property sellers. I mean, when we spoke about it, man, there was only one, and now there's fucking 6.
Yep.
Like,
crazy,
what?
isn't it?
And there's a fucking full digital property metaverse land website now.
Yeah.
Like
Decentraland. Yeah.
I don't know what it. Yeah, I don't know.
Sandbox is the one I showed you.
Sandbox. Yeah, Sandbox is the one you showed me. But then the others, I was like, excuse me, there's another 5 of them.
Yep.
Like, what? The fuck?
I literally like to think of it as like a Minecraft map, and then you own a section of the map, and whatever you want to build there is what you build there. But the idea is to build something that's going to attract people to come, so they pay like a theme park, effectively.
Yeah. I mean, the way that the world is going, social interaction will mostly be online, which is sad to think, but if we keep going the way we're going with this pandemic, it's going to be difficult.
Which again is why I think you and I, and all of our group of friends and stuff,
I've done it for years. Yeah.
We literally have been doing this for years. We're talking online through Discord right now.
Yeah.
On a podcast, recording it to put onto YouTube as content.
With a clear picture, good audio.
Yeah.
Like
and then
crazy to me. Games, yeah, you think about it.
When we jump into games, i.e. New World, and we all get to experience
something together.
Something together. Yeah. That is just like
it's
a really cool feeling.
Yeah.
And
I mean, then
the physical,
and what 13 years ago, all we could do was type to each other.
Correct. Throw another 10 years on top of where we're at right now with VR and where that's going, and more metaverse shit happening. Like, wait until that's at a point where you can put a VR headset on and just like literally not be here.
Yeah.
That's when,
I don't know. I don't know if I'm still like, as much as I want deep dive, I'm worried about deep dive. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's just like deep learning. Yeah.
There will be so much shit, man, that goes like health wise wrong. Like people are dying from playing a video game for 48 hours straight as it is, right?
Yeah. That is
deep dive, man. People are going to forget to eat.
Ready Player One actually in the books do cover that. There is like a lockout. I can't remember what the time was. I think it was maybe 12 hours. There's a lockout.
I like that.
After 12 hours, you have to take a minimum 8 hour break.
Makes you want to actually, which is basically what they touch on at the end, right? Because they do talk about that. They say like we have Tuesdays and Thursdays, we just don't turn on the servers because the interaction outside is what people need, and we're still social that way. And
wait for Ready Player 2, man. That's gonna fucking destroy you. It's actually gonna destroy it. It's gonna ruin so many people's fucking like ideas of where it was all going.
Fair enough,
dude. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I think 10 years on top of where we're at now, and we're looking at something that's so vastly different to what anyone can comprehend right now, unless you've actually done some research.
Or listen to the Mattcast.
Or listen to the Mattcast, yeah.
Just probably, there's probably a lot of people like, what the fuck? Like,
what
really?
are you talking about?
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, most of the people that probably listen to us already sort of are
aware of it.
Know this stuff. Yeah. Let us know if you're not. Comments.
Chuck in the comment, what do you think is going to happen in 10 years? Where will we be at? Like, where do you think VR is going to be? Just
we're getting like really philosophical here.
Hey, it's the Mattcast. That's what we do. We touch on all the topics. All right, it's not a rant. It's just I don't have a rant this week. I just have a sad boy hours. It's like, what game do I play, man? Like, I sat there yesterday for a couple of hours looking at my screen. I opened up Surviving Mars. I ran the tutorial. I was like, nah, this ain't it. And then I jumped into COD, played a couple of games of COD. I was like, nah.
Mind you, to be fair,
it was good, but nah.
It sucked just that because like almost every single one of you, our mates, including me, were doing league placements. So it was like, that was pretty insane to me.
That like, I can't believe I was playing league. That was blowing my mind.
Yeah.
So what's the go? Why? Tell me. I should have wrote this down actually, but tell me what's the hype factor that's brought everyone back into league now?
Well, we generally just doing it so we can play Clash. You have to be ranked to play Clash. So that's the tournament. So
yeah.
I guess the majority of the people yesterday were just getting their 10 out of the way. We didn't care where we ranked as long as we were just ranked, you know.
Gotcha.
So that's basically our reason. I guess a lot has been with Arcane. Arcane has really fueled people, even
back into league,
like older players coming back to league, because it just like, I mean, Arcane is one of the best things I've watched in recent times. Like the animation, the art, the way we are going in that direction as well.
That's exciting, man.
I don't know if you've seen the new trailer, man. Like
I saw it league, maybe you retweeted it yesterday.
Holy fuck! That's
is
unreal.
There any other context around that? Because I didn't really. So obviously I don't know all the characters properly, but It was awesome to watch. It was like, holy crap, this is really epic.
That was the starter. That was just the starter introduction to this
season of content.
Yeah, so like
so
they
that's basically
after
starting
that
the story. Yeah, that's the start of the story, and then the whole rest of the season is gonna be built off that.
I mean, like the fall that sound, that music, right? That is the official league music. That's for this year. So that will be like in all the promos. So that was like this is what it is. This is the song for this year. So like Awaken was like 2 years ago, Rise, all those different songs leading up to basically hype up the rest of it. That was the cinematic. So all the characters, I mean, generally they do like, you know, they do put characters against each other because it's essentially what you do anyway. So we had like Talia in there, we had Kaiser, we had Sejuani, we had Volibear, we had I can't remember the others, Pantheon and Leona.
Yes, Pantheon. Yes, that was cool.
Yeah. So they have like, and what they do, right, is those cinematics essentially show a little bit of the lore behind their worlds. So like, you know, because obviously we know like there's different sections of their world that like Ionia and Demacia and all Noxus, you know, all Piltover, all those sort of areas, right? That create the big massive world. And you can't tell that, like they've started to do that obviously with Arcane, but they can't tell that in other ways yet, right? Yeah. So they show that bit of context of lore of like Pantheon would fight Leona, and you know what everyone was kind of very like, I guess, surprised by was Talia and Kaiser, but that big monster
they were the two fighting together, weren't they?
Yeah. So So Kaiser was that big monster that you see her jump down. Was Rek'Sai. That's Rek'Sai. So
is that a new character?
So it's another league. No, been around a while. So been around. Yeah, but yeah, so that was the whole idea of it. Yeah, Kaiser is a really interesting character because she basically just anything that comes from the void, she fights. She's a protector of Earth, basically.
Yeah.
So and then I guess it was just really surprising to see her with Talia and Talia to be in in a cinematic again, but the level of detail in that cinematic was incredible.
For a freaking 3-minute video, 2-minute video, whatever it was, that was so cool. Even for a layman like myself watching from the outside.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea. It's meant to get you intrigued by it.
Well, like, I just installed the freaking League launcher this morning. So, I mean, shit. And you said Clash, and I'd forgotten about Clash. I was like, I actually enjoyed playing Clash with the boys, despite the fact that I sometimes costed, but whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So now I have to play League again, and it's going to be a good year. It's going to be another year of yelling at my screen. Great.
Yeah, happens. But yeah, I mean that's essentially it. We just all decided that like, we just get the placements out of the way because we want to play Clash. So yeah, that's basically it. I guess. Today? Yeah, I think majority of us did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we did. I did 10
days. Impressive.
Yeah, ended up in 9-1, baby. Fuck yeah, it's brutal this season. It is brutal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's because there's no like soft cap, I guess. Like they don't go off previous seasons. It's basically a full refresh.
That's I don't mind that. But I know there's so many Smurf accounts and like it's manipulated so easily.
Yeah, that's the issue. You're gonna have a lot of people that are just gonna Smurf in Iron, so you don't want to really be near Iron. So,
but I mean, I think the same thing happens in Bronze. But then Bronze is at the point where you can't. You're playing with other players that don't really have a full understanding of the game or where to be at what time.
You don't have you don't have an understanding. Like it's frustrating because yesterday Stowe and I saw it. We literally had 2 games we lost because people just didn't know what to do and just chased kills.
Yep.
But nothing was pushing. There was nothing. The wave management wise, we were just like, we can't do anything, and we were getting flamed because we couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Like, so you guys are playing what, ADC and support?
Yeah, we just decided I wasn't winning in mid, so I was just like, I'll just go ADC and he goes support. And we had a bit of influence, but we didn't have a lot of influence, and that was the issue. So if I was mid, then it would have been better, but we weren't. We were just getting the games out of the way, so we just said, fuck it, we just have fun. So
was everyone playing random characters too to throw off?
Stove and I did. Yeah, Stove and I did. Yeah, we played some weird shit.
Lanks
but
was probably going dumb. That's why Lanks didn't want to play PUBG with me yesterday. I didn't realize.
Yeah, he was going dumb hard.
Going on. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going dumb hard. Yeah.
Nice clown. Oh well. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's touch on this, and
yep.
This is just a short one. I was curious to get your thoughts on what do you think of streamers and collaborating with other streamers. Because I saw some tweets.
I've seen some tweets as well.
Yeah, I saw some tweets this week, and it was like, I've been looking for people to collaborate with, and when I tweet out, everyone's like, yeah, sweet, let's collab, blah, 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 whatever. But then when push comes to shove, they're like, oh, no, I can't. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. Rah, rah, whatever. Or there's just excuses after excuses. So I don't want to talk about excuse culture because that shit pisses me off like nothing else. Yep. But I just thought it'd be interesting to see what you think of it being a streamer. And also, congrats on like having awesome viewership this week on your iRacing streams. Thanks, albeit like you've had some troubles. It's been, I tuned in the other day, I'm like, yo, 24 people watching iRacing.
I know.
Go, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. Yeah, it was like the first day was like, Tuesday was like 24, and the next day was like Thursday was like 26. I was like, what?
Yeah, and you know what? We talked about this probably, I think, in like episode 1 or 2, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but it was about you starting again effectively on iRacing on Twitch and having to build up the audience again. And look what happened.
I mean, follower wise, it's been the best thing. So I appreciate the support if you guys have tuned into them. And I'm sorry that it's been such a shit week in terms of iRacing, but yeah.
That's motorsport.
It is motorsport. Collaboration wise,
yeah.
I mean, I have my opinions on this. And actually, interestingly enough, Gemma Taters, she had a good outlook on this too. Obviously they've been maining PSO2 for 3 years now. I can't remember when Shadowkeep came out. It was the last time they played Destiny, and then they switched their content over to
full blown PSO2. Yeah,
and that was a risk in itself, but it paid off. But I can't remember the tweet exactly, but it was basically like, there was a reason that I don't collab anymore, or like I even tried. I always just focused on myself.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Yeah, I don't know the wording. I have to look at it and sort of. But yeah, you can just go on her Twitter. You'll see it. It's a good take on it. Actually, I might find it. But basically, my take on it is. So I mean, I've done it before where someone said like it's all well and good that people want to like, hey man, do you want to collab or whatever, right? Now, number one for me, it feels a bit weird. Generally speaking, you don't just like, if you don't know the person and you just go into their DMs and be like, hey, do you want to like collab soon? There's nothing wrong with that, right? But it's the same as a cold call, and don't be like, I guess, disappointed if they say no, right? I think a lot of it comes down to just don't worry if you're being rejected, right? Because like, I understand that some people just make excuses. It comes to the time and people are just like, oh, I can't, sorry, I'm really busy, right?
Yeah.
I did it one time. I was meant to do an Among Us lobby, and I said, yeah, that's like, that sounds like an amazing idea, and I was legitimately keen for it, right?
Yeah.
And then the day of, I had to say to them, I'm really, really, really sorry, but I can't. And I felt like absolute shit saying I can't, right?
Yeah, I get you.
And they were like, yeah, that's all good, no worries.
Course,
like, and they said like, they just said, thanks for giving me time to find someone else, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's no worries. And I was honestly really looking forward to it. But like, this is when I just started full-time work again.
Yeah.
And I had to stay back that night. And I felt like shit because I had to do it, right? And I said like, I'm sorry, but IRL stuff has like really, really come up. Like I felt bad. I felt terrible about it. So that's the thing, right? Be careful if you are going to write something like that, especially if someone has denied it, like has actually said like, I can't do it, sorry, and then you're frustrated and then you tweet about it. When you've said to them,
that's a subtweet.
Yeah, that's when you said like, oh, I'm sorry, like, and then you're like, no, it's fine, and then you go behind their back and say basically like, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this bloody thing. I don't think I'm going to find it. It's way too down, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's buried amongst the
she tweets a lot.
tweets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
tweets a lot. But yeah, it was a good take. You might want have a look around it. Here we go. Yeah, I mean this was about the Destiny community.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so this was it because like there is a lot of no they are, but there is a lot of hierarchy that goes on at the top, right? If you're at the top, you stay at the top, but you don't help anyone else get to the top. That's basically the yeah.
That's the mentality. Is that the mentality?
That's the mentality.
That grinds my gears real hard.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, it really is.
Let's leave that as a segue in a second. But yeah, that's exactly what pisses me off the most about content people, and not just in this game or these.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. It's there somewhere.
We'll find it.
But
we'll tweet it out later.
But there's nothing wrong with networking. I think networking needs to happen. I don't do it enough, right? That's the number one thing that I think most streamers don't do enough, or content creators do enough, is actually
brands
network.
Too. I mean, I'm
networking though is not the same as collaboration. Just can I please say that?
Yes, there's a definition between the two.
There is a difference. Right? Yep. Collabing means that you're actually going to go out of your way, like we are right now. We're collaborating, right? There is. No
way.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's unbelievable. Yeah, it's a common goal that we want to achieve in a particular thing, right? Yep. Networking, on the other hand, is just saying, "Hey, I'm here. I'm present. You know me. You know I know you.
This is what I do. This is who I am."
Yeah, this is what I do.
There's no expectation.
And then exactly. And then in the future, if there's any opportunity that you want to do something, let me know. And it's exactly the same thing. It's how I first started doing stuff with Holmes. You know, it wasn't just like I was like went into his stream and just went, "Hey man," I went into his stream. First thing I did is he's like, "Oh, does anyone want to play?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro." Didn't get in a voice chat with him or anything. I just played with him.
Yeah.
Right. And then after that, I just messaged him and just said, "Hey man, had a really good time. Thanks." He's like, "Yeah, no worries." And then he sort of went, that's the icebreaker. So
you're telling me you were just being a nice human. You're just being a nice human playing games with someone online.
I had no expectations, man. Like that's the thing, right? I didn't want to feel weird about it. Like
I get you.
You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be like, "Yeah, I'll come play with you, dude." I don't like if he just says, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my god, he's like, it was nothing about that. And it doesn't matter how many viewers more he had, right? It didn't matter to me. It was just I enjoyed his energy and I enjoyed the content that he created, right? And that's where I was like, I like this dude, man. And he likes Destiny and he wants to get more into it. And I was just like, that's it. I literally played with him. I saw like the stuff he was doing, and the development that he did as a Destiny like player was insane. I know a lot of that was influenced by who he was playing with, and we gave him a lot of knowledge, but he wanted to learn that, right? And that was the thing. That was the icebreaker for me. I would go, "Hey, like, do you want to learn more about Destiny? Do you want to do that?" And he was like, "Yeah, man. Like, I want to help people. I want to be able to help." And that was his entire outlook on it all, right? So that's what I wanted. So I guess it's like, what do you, as you personally, what do you want? Like, because at the end of the day, it's your channel.
Correct. It's your content.
And it's your content, right? If you do want to have a channel that is built up on just collaborating with people, I think you're doing it wrong. That sounds really bad. I don't want to like.
I think that's fine because
I know there's channels out there that work like that, right? Because there are people that are at the top that do. That's all they do. Like is it Mika? I don't know. She does it. There's a doctor that does it too. He's like a he talks to streamers. He actually talks to Twitch streamers about their mental health. It's a really good channel, and he talks to like like all the big ones like Amaranthi and all those. He talks to them and asks like how they're going and why do you do what you do and all this sort of stuff. And he actually jolts them and actually makes them emotionally engaged and stuff, right? So that it can work, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, people are going to be there for you. They're not going to be there for the people that you're playing with. If they're there for the people they're playing with, they're going to be in their channel. That's
absolutely.
I'm sorry, but it's just that's how it's going to be. They're not going to.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. It's I guess I learned that from I mean, Destiny is a very focused fire team game, so you're always going to generally have people in your party, and you're going to have people that talk, right? And I feel like the people that I played with, especially back in that like sort of golden
era
age of Destiny, yeah, it was nice. No, it was Forsaken, but like around that, around that era, it was just like there was just we're just all bouncing off each other, and a lot of people liked that, right? But that was part of the content that was on my channel, you know. And from that, that's the thing, right? That's going to blow a lot of people's minds. Yeah,
I'm ready for it.
This is going to be pretty crazy. Yeah,
give it to me. Hit it.
But because they were playing with myself and others and all that in the game that we played, right? It was crazy. Still blown away, right?
All right.
I just said, hey, if you want to see more of their content, link. There's their channel. Link. Go follow. And holy shit, guess what?
We shared the
communities.
Wow.
And we all grew.
Imagine that.
Unreal.
I think you and I have been talking about and discussing that level of things since, I don't know, 2016.
Yeah.
It's been a good ride, man.
And yes, I'm not saying that I do it perfect, because I don't think anyone on this platform does it perfect, right? I think there's
no perfect way to do it.
The only thing is, I do understand that if you are fearful of doing collaborations, maybe don't approach it like, hey, I want to collab with you. More do it as in, how would you start a friendship? How would you start talking to someone if you never knew them? That's the biggest
can of worms too.
But that's it though, right? Yeah. That's literally it. Like, how do you I know it's harder said than done, right? Because like I have social anxiety. Everyone probably gaming has social anxiety. That's why we game, right? We don't go outside.
Various levels of it, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you what is your strength? We'll probably look at that first. What is your strength? And then move forward. Like, okay, I can offer this exact same way. I knew that I could help people in the game that I played, right? Holmes was willing to learn. And I was like, well, he's a great channel. I'm not looking at taking any of his viewers. I'm not being selfish in that respect. And I hope that you don't come across like that. That's the where do you,
I'd say
even if you need to have that conversation, have that conversation with them. Like, hey, am I overstepping here? There's all that etiquette comes in, right? You're going to be in a Discord channel with them. Mute if you're streaming with them. Let them know that you're streaming with them.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do anything worse, right? Than saying, hey, thanks for the follow, and they're streaming and they're like, what the fuck? This is my, like, I invited you. That's the biggest thing. If you invited them, that's different. But if they invited you,
it just comes down to communication. That's all it is. It's communication. And that simple communication goes such a long way.
Mic? Like, is it okay if I open mic? Is it okay if you like? And then if they say, no, I prefer if you're muted. Don't make a fuss of it.
Just don't leave Discord in a bit of rage.
Yeah,
just chill out.
Be like, yeah, no worries, easy. You asked the question, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, if you're going to ask the question, obviously you're thinking about it anyway, so it's not going to be something you're going to be pissed about. But that's good.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, I have nothing. I have nothing wrong with collabing at all.
Yeah. I'll wind back a little bit onto. I can't remember what I was going to say. What the segue was. Anyway, this is a one thing that, and this is, as I said, what you and I have been not dealing with, but like trying to navigate, collabing and Twitch and like various topics related to that. And part of that,
this is going to be good.
Part of that for us started back in Call of Duty, and it's come
simpler times.
It's simpler times, yeah. It's come to the foreground again with Hecz and Nadeshot having their little on-stream chat about where the CDL's at, where pros are at, and stuff like that. And this is, I think, the reason it pricked my interest was purely because of the collabing stuff, right? And not even collabing, but like content creation stuff. The pros, I think the general consensus is that a majority of pros now don't want to create content because they don't feel like they have to. They feel like there's this level of entitlement, which is why I want to bring it up. There's this level of entitlement that they don't have to create content because they're a pro. They're getting paid to play Call of Duty, which is fair. I understand that. What their argument was, and Nadeshot and Hex's argument was, they've paid 25 mil for these slots the CDL. They got their players. They're happy to pay their pro players to play. And if they don't want to stream their scrims, they don't have to, whatever. Nadeshot's argument was that if they aren't streaming their scrims or aren't streaming or creating content, they're basically doing themselves a massive disservice, and also the Call of Duty community a massive disservice. Because if and when they retire, they've got nothing to fall back on.
Yeah.
Aside from a wage, which they won't be getting anymore because they haven't created any content. And it sort of made me think, I'm like, this is the same thing that it's the same thing that we've been talking about for ages, especially when I anyway. But imagine where Call of Duty is right now if Hecz, Nadeshot, and Scump weren't around. Call of Duty in its current form does not exist. I'm heard it here first. Simple as that, I think. Simple as that. If we didn't have those personalities.
Honestly, I think if you didn't have well, not the Scuff House, what was the one before it?
50-50?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think if you didn't have, like, this is going to sound really stupid, but if you didn't have OpTic,
yeah,
if you didn't have Hecz, blogging,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like, you really think about it, like, yeah, I know that everyone's like, oh, Nadeshot, like, yeah, right? Who told Nadeshot to do what he did? Hecz. Like, you know what I mean?
And then he was a constant in
like,
the
Nadeshot,
hey man, you should be doing this. Like,
yeah, like Nadeshot wanted to, right? That was him.
That's the difference now, yeah.
And that he wanted to create that content. He was like, man, this is actually sick. I'm making a community based on what I am as a person. Yep. And he was a fucking funny kid. Like, he was funny,
he was hilarious, man.
Him and Scump together, still some of the funniest shit, bro. Like, and then you had Formal. And Formal was a lot more relaxed back then, and like he sort of opened back up to that now, Formal. Yeah. But like, man, he is like, he's back to that Formal that I remember watching. Really is. And but yeah, that first house, I think, I don't think if that exists. I mean, Big Timer as well.
Yep.
I think he did a lot. He did a lot for OpTic in the first few years. It's like, I mean, he still does an incredible amount. But yeah, without that vision, I mean, yeah, this is the thing that I think that a lot of they wonder why communities die.
I mean, let's be honest, Activision's dropping the ball in a big way.
Yeah,
we've got no ranked. There's no
see,
events.
that's interesting. I didn't realize. I thought that they couldn't stream scrims.
They can't right now. No, they can't stream scrims at the moment. They apparently, I can't remember exactly, but as far as I'm aware, they can't scrim live at the moment
because of Activision.
Correct, because of CDL, not so much Activision. Which I'm
CDL, yeah,
different investors, I think.
Yeah, because all I've seen is the tweets. I haven't actually seen the video. I haven't watched it, so you're probably leading this on it. But yeah. I mean, I've seen this sort of. We said it as soon as franchising happened. We were like, it's fucked it. It screwed it. Right. I understand their idea of making like an esports, like a Friday night football. I understand that idea. I really do. We're not there yet. We're nowhere near that.
And this is the biggest argument of the whole thing, right? We're not there yet. We are not at that point. When Call of Duty main event has 10K viewers, that's fucking pathetic, but considering there's 12 teams that pay 25 mil buy-ins. That's bullshit.
There is also a reason. There is also a reason for that, though.
This is boring as fuck.
No, they limited it to a particular platform that doesn't have a streaming platform yet. All right, that's half. All their viewers were on Twitch, man.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue, isn't it?
Like they made it to a website. It's another website you need. Unfortunately, that's it, right? It's another place that people have to go watch their favorite shit that they want to watch. Yes, people that are diehard fans will want to do that, but a lot of people will go where it's convenient. If it's on, it's on. Why do you think Riot do so well? They put it on Twitch, YouTube, Trovo, their own website.
Yeah. They don't care.
And they're getting millions of viewers.
Correct. But this is the point I think they're trying to get across.
Still making money, man.
Those guys I mentioned before, like the Scumps, Nades, and Hecz, if they didn't pave the way, it doesn't get to where it is now. If we don't have that second generation or third generation of guys coming in, creating content and paving that way, it doesn't go anywhere, man. Like,
you need a scuff
you think
house.
what's going to happen when Scump retires, bro? They're going to lose 25% of their goddamn viewership because it is him. Any OpTic game that's not an OpTic game, they're like 25 to 30% down compared to an OpTic game. Like,
well, it's interesting to me that you say that, right? I remember back in Black Ops 4, right?
Oh yeah.
I remember whenever Scump would stream, it was like 25,000 people watching him, right?
Yeah.
The next closest was Dashy with 2K.
Yeah. I mean, that's where they're at now. I'm pretty sure Scump had 5K the other night. That was
and you know
Warzone.
you know what's really interesting to me as well? Before that, Dashy, right, only like 200, 300 viewers, maybe even less, right?
That's crazy.
And then as soon as he joins OpTic,
boom.
I mean, Dashy was cracked in that game too. He just exploded.
Yeah.
And then like same with Crim6. Crim6 had 4 or 5K viewers usually, like in OpTic, in Empire. I don't even know if he averages 2K. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think last time I saw it was like 500.
He's playing for
New York. That's right. Yeah.
with
right.
play.
Yeah. So it was like 500, 600 viewers or something like that now.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
that's crazy.
You don't have the powerhouse that I mean, it's unfortunate to me. Like, this is what doesn't really make any sense to me. Yeah. If you have OpTic, if you had OpTic do what they could potentially show they could do, and I don't know why the structure wasn't any different, but why wasn't FaZe and Envy doing this back in the day? Why weren't they doing this?
I think they were, but not so much. They weren't as focused on the esport aspect, which is fine because there need to be people to drive, like, you know, the sniping team and lots of stuff they do. But FaZe and OpTic and Envy, to a degree, have all transcended Call of Duty. They've all been successful in other esports, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I get that, but where's the content on that shit?
Well, I mean, I guess that's just what you were paying attention to at the time, because I didn't really pay too much attention to Envy because OpTic was my favorite team, and then FaZe I watched a bit of because obviously their content was fire. But then again, that wasn't so much the esports stuff. Esports for them is secondary.
Okay. All right. Well, here's another one, right? If OpTic was, and if Nadeshot had stayed with OpTic, do you think that COD would have lasted as long as it did now? Like, do you think it would have died if 100 Thieves was never made?
Oh.
Right? So this was probably, when they made? World War II, I think it was the first one, yeah? I think it was World War II 100 Thieves was made because I had Enable. Or was the one before that? Anyway, wherever it was.
Pre-CDL, and I think we've had 2 seasons of CDL. This is coming up.
Yeah. Do you believe if Nadeshot hadn't had a vision that it would be as successful or had lasted as long? Because you technically now have 2 powerhouses driving content.
If Nade just retires and goes off quietly into his content creation career, which he kind of did before 100 Thieves came about, if he does that, I still think OpTic do what OpTic do. And it's
I'm saying that 100 Thieves doesn't exist, man.
Yeah. I still think. Oh well, I mean, if he's still a part of OpTic, I still don't see him playing Call of Duty as much as what he probably would have. Warzone may have changed that. If he was just going to focus a game, probably would have been Warzone, and he would have been cracked at it. I think he still is.
I guess. I mean, CDL as a whole. Do you think it would have lasted as long as it did if 100 Thieves didn't exist? Because if you think about it, OpTic has established themselves. That they always did push more and more.
Think of what happened to OpTic as well, because they weren't OpTic; they were the Huntsmen. Technically, they were the Huntsmen. So he started a new brand and brought that up out of nothing.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, they had a lot of followers, but at the same time as well, you saw how hit they were in terms of viewership.
Yeah. I don't think it's so much the brand itself. I think it's the people in that scenario, because the fact that OpTic LA or whatever the hell it was, that garbage brand that was around for however long, that I don't think that hurt the brand, because as soon as they came back, it's just firing on all cylinders again. Awesome to see. And now this year with the merger with Envy, like the amount of resources they've got to do what they want to do, I'm so excited to see what they do this year. Like, it's gonna be wild. Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously it plays out different, but if 100 Thieves isn't around, I mean, they weren't in the league for the first season anyway because they didn't want to buy in, and then Nade eventually convinced his board that he wanted in. So
yeah, now look at it.
I guess he's the fool.
Yeah, I saw that tweet and I was like, man, that's pretty shit, To be fair,
that sucks, and that not even for the money value, because I know that they're all passionate. They're all doing what they do because of passion, and the money obviously helps build. But at the end of the day, they're only there because of the passion.
It's interesting to me that the board said it's not profitable.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's not.
I mean, when you think about it, they had a league team. You know what I mean? That's the crazy
with a
thing.
league team, you can pull sponsorships that are worth more money.
Oh, it's 100% worth money.
Yeah,
like in terms of even advertisement for the fucking the team alone is
nutty, man. Hey,
yeah,
fucking League of Legends, eh? I think Under Thieves is successful with or without COD, but I think as a passion project and where Nadeshot wants to be, he had to have Call of Duty as a part of his repertoire. At least had to attempt it. But if things don't seriously change, Call of Duty 1 dies, CDL dies, and they've spent millions of dollars for nothing. And Activision, well, their board members aren't going to be happy for much longer because they've already seen this year that Vanguard's down 30% sales compared to previous years. So they are getting hit where it hurts. And I hope that is what is the catalyst for them to actually fucking listen and change some shit and give us a goddamn ranked playlist at fucking launch with some events to back it up. Like Halo have just nailed it, man.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah. That's a blueprint and a half.
They have nailed it. It's just not, the game isn't in a good position right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's actually just a hardware issue. But that the actual the fact that they have a roadmap,
dude, was insane.
They had I'm really sad I missed it.
They had AMs, they had everything going on there, and that's what Call of Duty
misses. And that is it. Yeah, that's it. The biggest thing of it all going franchise is the issue with that is the issue. They fucked the model that worked. They screwed the model that worked.
Yeah,
because it was like you wouldn't have had E United ever exist. No. You wouldn't have had it.
Bro,
like
think of how it used to work. Right, there was 12 teams, pro teams, 8 pro teams, whatever it was, and then they brought up the top 4 AM teams from that event. That means if you're an amateur team that went to this event, you could have had a crack at versus the pros, and that is what people played for because they wanted that crack to prove.
Man, that's why I went to Atlanta to give it a go.
Exactly right.
Like proof. People from around the world were starting to do it. Like
yes, dude, and that was a model that worked and it was exciting, and that was like you got to pool play. Holy shit, this is amazing! You've just made it, sort of thing. Not so much made it, but like you're
actually,
there.
you know what's really interesting about that actually. The EU teams and stuff that we used to have, right, aren't EU teams anymore. They're mostly like made up of like Americans. There's a couple of EUs, but the rest of them can't afford to do it.
Yeah,
they just can't afford it. Like Paris isn't Paris.
Paris was most majority Australian for a bit there.
Yeah. Like, well, they're like 3 of them are American.
You know what's funny?
Stupid.
Watching the OpTic podcast, Formal. It was a clip actually out of it that I saw. Formal was like, because they were talking about content creators and where people have gone, rah. And Formal brings up Luca, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, Luca.
Oh, yeah. He's like, whatever happened to that Luca guy? Like he wasn't great, but he was really good. Like he could have had a career future. But he's like, literally once the season finished, like he hasn't seen a tweet, hasn't heard from him, like absolutely zero. Like he called him out, man. He's like, yo, this kid was actually pretty good. And I haven't heard shit from him since the season ended. Like, what's he doing? Where's he gone? Like, but I'm pretty sure he's back here now playing with Renegades with the rest of the boys.
Yeah, well, I think they're
playing
just,
in the
a lot of them have gone to Halo.
Not surprised.
Dens is in Halo, man.
Bro, there's more money
Beaston,
in it because
all of them are there, bro.
There. Yeah, yo, good.
They're in a top 3. They're in a top 3 team.
Good. And you know what? They actually get supported by the devs.
Yeah, I know.
And they actually get listened to by the devs. If something's wrong, the devs are like, okay, we see that. We'll see what we can do. And if we can't fix it, we'll let you know. Hey, imagine what communication looks like when people actually talk to each other.
Collaboration.
Bang. There's the full circle. That's our main topics out of the way for this podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God. We've ticked over an hour and 10.
Yep.
Been an average week for iRacing. We probably won't get into that. Everyone's had a rough one.
Use your brakes, forehead. Anyway, that's all I need to say.
Brakes is the usually like the middle pedal, or
the
left
pedal
pedal if you don't have a clutch.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a clutch. Next week, we'll have I think we're going to have a chat about the book of Boba Fett. That's up to episode 3 by next week, which is pretty exciting.
Yes.
I'm almost tempted to leave it and just watch it in bulk, but because I'm watching the 100, I kind of want to like sneak episodes in here and there. And I'm not sure if Ash is going to be interested, so I have to be careful there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
good.
Anyway, guys, we will wrap it up there. Thank you so much for listening or watching.
Have a great week.
Wherever you've been. Yeah, have a great week.
We'll catch you next week. This week.
Because that's what we're doing now.
On the week.
We do podcasts every Monday, 4:30 p.m.
The Mats.
The Mats are out. See you guys.
See ya.